I want to thank everyone for being here tonight and supporting St. Vincent de Paul. I know you're all here because of Father Barber, as St. Vincent de Paul, we really thank you for all that you do and your generous donations. Last year, we closed out our year and we helped a little bit more than 100 people with about $40,000 in terms of gifts. So around, when you look at the average, we're helping a family in the tune of $400 per gift. So their needs are really great. I mean, when we look around Santa Barbara, you see the disparity of wealth and you see the very poor out there, and it's very difficult for them. So when they're looking to get into a new apartment or they're living in their car and they need a car repair, it's generally a big item that they're coming to us for. They're not asking for a meal or something like that. They're really asking for something that's going to be a life-changing event for them. So, I mean, if we look at today and what we've done just with this gathering, we'll probably be able to help 5 people with this with the support of you guys tonight. So those 5 people, they'll have a roof over their home, or they'll be able to continue to live in their car, which for some people, unfortunately, is as good as it gets. Many of the people that we deal with, they're on fixed income, whether it's seniors on Social Security or disability because of either mental or physical conditions, and they're living on about $1,000 a month. And that makes it very difficult if they don't have any subsidized housing to really subsist in Santa Barbara. And then when they get a curveball thrown at them, that's when things really fall to pieces, and that's when they come to us. So they're not looking for the ongoing support, they're looking for that one-time support, and we try and be there as a trampoline to get them back up on their feet. So we're not the safety net, we're trying to be the trampoline to pop them back up and get them back to where they were before. So I dearly thank everyone for being here and being so generous and for supporting the Society of St. Vincent de Paul.
Well said, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
And now, the star attraction, Father Barber.
That's a dangerous introduction. And just this occasion reminded me of a story about Vincent de Paul, but from Ireland. There was a college in Ireland where they started the Vincent de Paul Society, and in this college it was an enormous success. And in fact, this Vincent de Paul Society eventually built a gymnasium for the people they were helping, a youth club. But they started in the college, and then after 10 years, it had started very well with about 50 members. After 10 years, they decided that they would have a reunion of the founding group, and they had a reunion, and they decided, what would they do? They said, first of all, we'd have a mass in the college, and we'd have a dinner in a restaurant. And they wanted to know, what restaurant will we have it in? And they said, Colucci's. And why Colucci's? The waitresses are gorgeous. Then, in 25 years, they decided to have a reunion again. And the committee met and they asked one another, what will we do? Well, we'll have the mass in the college and we'll have a dinner. And where will we have the dinner? In Colucci's. Now, why will we go to Colucci's? Because you see, it's very staid. The waitresses are matronly. And were middle-aged. So they had the dinner, they had the mass, and it was a terrific success. Then came the 50th year, and there was still a growing number of them around, and they had a meeting, and they decided, what would they do? Well, obviously, we'll have a mass, and then we'll have a dinner. Where will we have the dinner? Colucci's. Now, why Colucci's? Well, you see, in Colucci's, there's that nice ramp which is handy for wheelchairs. And then it went to the 60th.
Oh, no.
And there's quite a goodly number of them still around. And they had their meeting, and they wanted to know, well, what will we do? Well, we'll certainly have the mass in the college, and we'll have a dinner in a restaurant. And what restaurant will we have? Colucci's. Why? and one of them said, "We've never been there before." As you know, Monsignor Jeanette was to be here this evening, but his bronchitis is still with him, so he's not here, unfortunately. But this morning I was with him at breakfast, and we were reminding one another that it's 38 years since we met. Wow. He was a doctoral student from Rome, and I was a headmaster from Dublin, and we were supplying in Simi Valley and Moore Park. And one of the things I remind him of, that he taught me a new language known as American English. And pointed out why I put my foot in things and what to avoid. For instance, he explained why a middle-aged lady would not be appreciative of my remark that she was very homely. And that I shouldn't say, "I'm going to the garage to buy petrol." And much less, I should not say to the assistant in the garage to look under the bonnet. All these things I did. And also I should manifest no amazement, if not little distaste, if I was introduced to a person who's told me his name was Randy. Very improper in my part of the world, so I have to keep a straight face. And then the other that he told me, I remember in those years, under no circumstances be surprised if a person says that they prefer suspenders rather than a belt. And above all, don't say, "I presume you're talking about your wife," when you're talking about preference for suspenders. So I made it eventually, and I still slip up in the various ways of the new language of American English. But there was one thing from those early days that I still remember, and which I boast about, and I'm going to boast this evening. I had just arrived, and in 1 week, I was living in Moore Park, but went across to Simi Valley most days for my dinner. And I went in, and Monsignor O'Byrne, who was the pastor, was going around humming, "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." So I said, "Oh, have you been to see the play in the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, the musical?" Oh, he said, "Yes, we went down last night." Oh, I said, "I saw it the night before." And he said, who brought you down?" Oh, I said, "Nobody. I drove down." He said, "Do you mean to tell me you got into a car, drove down into Los Angeles, ended up in the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and got back again?" I said, "Yes." He said, "That's extraordinary." But that evening, I lost my way going from Simi Valley to Moore Park. I just want to say a couple of words of thanks in a very general way, and I would like, through Monsignor, to thank the Los Angeles Diocese. I've been, as I've often said, like a bad penny, constantly turning up here. But all my work in Ireland has been academic and administrative. It is here, and here alone really, that I've had the opportunity for pastoral work. And I'm very grateful for that. Secondly, I'm extremely grateful for the friends I've made here over those years. The pastors who put up with me, the parishioners who did likewise. And that has been a great experience for me here, and above all, the opportunity for pastoral work. And that brings me to this evening. I'm really very touched and embarrassed by this lovely gathering here this evening. And I cannot really express my gratitude and my amazed gratitude to you for such a warm welcome and for putting on this. I am deeply grateful. And the only thing that salves my conscience is to know that the Vincent de Paul Society is benefiting from it. And finally, I'd like to say that in the years I've been, I think since 2005, I've been coming here, certainly the most significant thing, as I see it, that occurred in this parish has been the founding of the establishment of the Vincent de Paul Society. It gives the parish an outward look, it gives the parish an apostolic activity of great importance. And also, it's an apostolate which appeals to people and appeals to the young people. Far be it from me to give advice, but could I make a suggestion? That the altar servers are terrific here, but they come to the end of their time, and they've done very well. It would be a great thing if they could be recruited at the end of their time of altar service. Say there's one great apostolic activity you have in this parish, it's the Vincent de Paul. Be you following that, if you take that suggestion or not, beside the point. But basically, I just want to say, to thank you profoundly, and as I say, almost embarrassingly, for such a beautiful welcome this evening. And thank you very much indeed.
I would like to propose a toast to Father Barber, because you have been such a part of our parish, and you have brought such warmth and care and just a great feeling to the parish. You filled in many times when we had a need, and you're always welcome here, and we greatly appreciate your being here. So here's to you.
Cheers.
And may I just add one thing, Father, to the toast, is that you bring a worldly perspective to our parish that we don't get anywhere else other than from you. You come from Dublin, that's the center of the European universe, basically. And in America, we think the world revolves around us, and it obviously doesn't. And you give us that perspective, and when you pray for peace in the world, that's an awesome thing. And so thanks for that as well. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you very much for your gracious words.
Okay. Let's get back to it. Everyone enjoy the evening. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.